Are you ready for an unforgettable journey through Black history? This March, I'm inviting you to join me on an exclusive tour of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District, better known as Black Wall Street. You'll walk in the footsteps of history with living descendants of the Black Wall Street Massacre, explore the new Black Wall Street Museum that opened in 2021, and visit iconic historic sites. Plus, you'll get to dine at Black-owned Southern restaurants and experience the vibrant culture of this incredible community. Don't miss this powerful opportunity to honor our ancestors and celebrate Black excellence. Spots are limited, so email me today at mike@nativebblackancestry.com to reserve your place. Let's make history together.
So, I think we should all, as white women, just admit we're jealous of Black women's hair. We're jealous of Black women's hair.
Can anybody tell me what's the YT woman fascination with Black girls' hair?
I think we white women have an inferiority complex. The Eastern women and the Negro women have a sort of reputation for being so beautiful. I think we white women have an inferiority complex. The Eastern women and the Negro women have a sort of reputation for being so beautiful. We're a little jealous of them.
I guess you just envy us colored people.
I have a theory about why Black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were Black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a Black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it.
One of my mutuals recently made a really good point talking about how white women are resentful of women of color because of how fetishized we are. So I want to unpack that a little bit. I think it's common with Black women and Asian women in particular. They think us being fetishized is some kind of compliment. And now we have an epidemic of race fishers who are trying to emulate our features to seem more desirable to the white male gaze. And the worst part is they will be seen as more desirable because men love to see the features of women of color on white women. I also think that's why a lot of white women have been accusing actual Asian people and Black people of race baiting, because they're jealous of the features that we have naturally, and they know accusing someone of race baiting is a way to get them dogpiled easily on this app. The jealousy is literally eating them alive.
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a native Black American and a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, go to nativebblackancestry.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your pigment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, smash the like button on the way in. Hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you support the mission. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Go ahead and stay a while. You won't regret it. But guys, this broadcast is going to be an interesting one. I found irrefutable evidence of white women finally confessing their jealousy of Native Black American women. I mean, we all knew what it was. We all knew. They demonized Black women, but at the same time tried to appropriate their phenotype. You know, the latest craze is lip fillers to try to get those juicy, luscious lips that the sisters have. I mean, they're using a bronzer and different tanning ointments to try to appear darker skin. Look at that little pale Italian girl, Ariana Grande. Damn, she's been blackfishing for a long, long time. I mean, guys, let's go ahead and get into this candid confession. They're finally going to speak out in the open about a secret we've known all along.
So today at work, one of my coworkers was telling me how hard it was growing up as a mixed girl with a white mom. And I was explaining to her something that I'm really surprised she didn't know. I was telling her that historically white women have always been jealous of Black women because the slave owner that was the man would come out and sleep with the slave and then get her pregnant. And then when it was time for the baby to be born, the white woman would make sure that the slave mother and the daughter were sold. It didn't matter if they were separating a family, didn't matter if they were sold together, didn't matter if they were sold separately. She just didn't want any more signs of his infidelity. And that was the reason why they were always jealous of us. It never stopped. It is what it is. But really, my take on interracial dating has always been the same. I just never really was a fan of it myself. But I was thinking I could possibly be wrong, biblically speaking, because if you think about it, Miriam, Moses' sister, was not fond of him marrying Ethiopian, I think, woman, and so she said something out of the way, something that irritated God enough to where he gave Miriam 7 days of leprosy, and Moses had to pray it off of her. So it's like, is it a problem, or should we speak down on interracial?
Shout out to Randall. Randall is our resident white man. Randall is giving a candid confession. Randall says some white women are jealous of black women. I've seen it personally. Well, Randall, let us know. What do you think they're most jealous of black women about?
Racial dating or no? I honestly I've been confused lately. And then on top of that, on the other end of the spectrum, remember, I think Samson? No. Yeah, I think.
Damn, she said it's biblical.
Anyway, the guy who fought the lion, ate the honey out the lion or something. Anyway, the guy. She said even the Christian Bible say you white women is jealous. He was defeated by Delilah, and that's because she was not in his people. So he was interracially dating also, and it was the cause of his demise. So it's so confusing. Like, we had a really good talk today. I don't know. It's everywhere. I'm not quite sure of what way is the right way or the wrong way.
So we all saw that Jessie Nelson music video, but this isn't the first time something like this has happened. We're talking about blackfishing. So the term kind of gained popularity 3 years ago on a Twitter thread by journalist Lana Thompson when she noticed that white celebrities and influencers were kind of cosplaying as black women on social media. So blackfishing is basically when a white person uses makeup, tanning products, hairstyles, lip fillers, cosmetic surgery to make themselves look racially ambiguous, mixed race, or black on social media. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Iggy Azalea, and Ariana Grande have been accused of this for years. So unlike blackface, which hopefully most of us can recognize as wrong, blackfishing kind of sits in this ambiguous space where white women can get away with it with no real or lasting consequences. Take Emma Hallberg, a Swedish influencer who up until 3 years ago people thought was a mixed race influencer, but then this photo was dug up and people started accusing her of blackfishing. There were a couple articles written by BuzzFeed and People magazine, but now she's back to influencing and has more followers than ever. Her followers now understand her as a white woman who has a really dark tan. The issue is that she was never really open to any conversation of whether or not she might be blackfishing, and there was a lack of transparency with her followers for years, which kind of begs the question of whether or not she actually cares about black voices or even her black followers at all. So some people might see blackfishing as appreciation or just a hairstyle, which is why we kind of don't see any real lasting consequences for these actions, but the black community has quite clearly and consistently stated how offensive these practices can be. How can you appreciate a culture without even listening to them? These excuses are just a scapegoat for a racist reality. White women are mimicking blackness for popularity, money, fame, all whilst taking recognition from actual people of color. Trends in pop culture and digital spaces are most often started by black people, especially black women, and are always commodified by white people, especially white women. I mean, take a look at basically every viral TikTok dance. This ignores and reverts all of the pain, the suffering, and the work black communities have gone through to gain just the bare minimum. Respect. Blackfishing gives people the opportunity to use blackness when it's convenient for them, without having to deal with the very real and very racist realities that come with being actually black.
I have a theory about why black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had black women as the side.
No, Becky, is deeper than that. You can't blame your internalized racism on you watching too much Friends, The Golden Girls, and The Brady Bunch. That's not the way it works.
Characters. These black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead. Even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
This is not an attack on white women. This is simply
I live between 3 countries, and she's not lying, especially European women. I have friends from Europe, so I am not racist. I am just simply giving my experience. Most people globally have watched African American women and women of African descent on TV, and they think that that is how all African American women behave. So when they meet a woman who's educated, well-spoken, beautiful, well-manicured, they don't know how to handle it. They also are extremely jealous that their husbands, their fathers, their uncles, all of the men in their lives literally stare at you the entire time that you are out in a restaurant or wherever you are, market. They are highly attracted to women of African descent. White women do not know how to handle this. In America, I have experienced this in corporate America, but in Europe, you experience this in the markets. They literally act like toddlers or mean girls.
I mean a PT bruiser. Dang, little mama, you is such a loser. Okay, you is such a loser.
So, I think we should all, as white women, just admit we're jealous of black women's hair.
You know, it's funny because a comment like this, even just a few years ago, would have devastated me. But the older I get...
Damn, hold on. She said a comment like this. Let me read it. Someone said, Jesus, what's with white women aging horribly? I believe she's in her early 20s, but she has the face of a 40-year-old woman. Damn. I didn't know this lady was in her early 20s. She does look middle-aged to me, but let's hear how she copes with the fact that she may age like spoiled milk. Or I'm sorry, that she's actively aging like spoiled milk.
Which I'm 33, almost 34. So you're only 6 years off. So it's not as much of an insult as you think it is.
I mean, honey boo boo child, if you would have said you was 42, I would have believed you. And 33 should not look like 42. I'm just saying. Black don't crack is a saying. White don't crack is a saying nowhere.
I just don't really fucking care what men think of how I look. Don't even really care what women think of how I look, because I fucking love my face.
Oh, she's coping so hard right now, guys. She said, I don't care what men or women say about how I look. Cause I fucking love my face. Hey, if a woman has to verbally tell herself I fucking love my face, you know she's coping with some things.
This is my face, no look. Don't even really care what women think of how I look because I fucking love my face. This is my face, no filters. You see the lines. I used to have a big scar here when I was bit by a dog.
Damn, them eyes is baggy. You got the crow's feet popping. She's over here. Hey, on one hand, she says, I don't need to explain myself to anybody, men or woman. I love my fucking face. But then on the other hand, she's like, trying to make excuses. Okay, so right here I got bit by a dog. Right here, this is from not using SPF 140. Like, what are we talking about?
This is a face that has a lot of sun damage. I used to have to bite.
Hey, I was just joking about the SPF 140, but nah, them folks really can't go outside without that sunblock, y'all. I'm telling you. I've seldom ever rarely used sunblock, but Lord, them folks go outside with the sunblock on like it is a prerequisite.
Work because I couldn't afford a car, and I got a lot of sun exposure that way. I also love my face because it tells my story. This is a face.
Yeah, trending with Cherie says that your story is sun damage. The story that your face is telling is sun damage, lack of moisture, and rapid aging. Lack of melanin. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I mean, guys, on the one hand, she says, I fucking love my face, dude. But then on the other hand, she's really trying to cope hard. I got bit by a dog. I was poor growing up. I had to walk out in the sun a lot. Like, what are we talking about?
I couldn't afford a car, and I got a lot of sun exposure that way. I also love my face because it tells my story. This is a face.
Every time you tell me something, I figure that you're lying. Ooh, it's almost like you faking. Oh yeah, yeah, I know you're lying, but you sound excited, and you know that I know that you're lying. Oh girl.
Survived and gone through addiction and has now gone through 6 years of recovery.
Oh Lord, baby, we don't care about your life story like that. We didn't need you to burden us with all of your trauma. Guys, I've got to run this back from the beginning and play this uninterrupted because she started off so strong. She said, man nor woman, I don't give a fuck what you think. I fucking love my face. And then she's like, okay, so right here I got bit by a dog. Right here is sun exposure. Right here is from the addiction. And she needed to listen to some TLC, y'all. She needs some TLC in her life. Make it feel so damn unpretty. If you know, you know. She needs some TLC in her life, y'all. Let's talk about it.
You know, it's funny because a comment like this, even just a few years ago, would have devastated me. But the older I get, which I'm 33, almost 34, so you're only 6 years off, so it's not as much of an insult as you think it is. I just don't really fucking care what men think of how I look. Don't even really care what women think of how I look because I fucking love my face. This is my face, no filters. You see the lines. I used to have a big scar here when I was bit by a dog. This is a face that has a lot of sun damage. I used to have to bike to work because I couldn't afford a car, and I got a lot of sun exposure that way. I also love my face because it tells my story. This is a face that has survived and gone through addiction.
I wish I could tie you up in my shoes, make you feel unpretty too. I was told I was beautiful, but what does that mean to you? Look
Come on,
into the
y'all.
mirror, who's inside.
Put the lighters up. Put the lighters up. Damn, them white girls need to listen to some TLC for a change. Maybe they'll get a boost of self-esteem.
It won't be again today. My outsides look cruel, my insides are blue. Every time I think I'm through, it's because of you.
Now gone through 6 years of recovery. This face has gone through a lot of trauma and is the face that is now working through it.
I try different ways, but it's all the same. At the end of the day, I have myself to blame. I'm just tripping. You can buy your hair if it won't grow. You can fix your nose if you say so. You can buy all the makeup the man can make. But if you can look inside you, find out who am I to be in the position to make me feel so damn pretty.
And frankly, this comment was a really good reminder, because I almost died at 27. And aging is a fucking privilege. And I'm really glad to be here, even if I'm responding to comments like these. Yeah, I love.
Guys, I think she's crying. I think she's crying now. I think if the bags weren't so heavy, then the tears would be flowing. I think the bags of her eyes are kind of like a dam or a levee system right now. The bags are preventing the tears from. God damn, somebody send her some TLC.
You can buy a hair that won't grow. You can fix your nose if you say so. You can buy all the makeup the man can make. But if you can look inside you, find out who am I to.
It tells my story, crinkles and all. Have a good day.
So this lady asks, this black lady, are white women really that scared of black women? And I'm going to say yes. And this is my opinion as a white woman who is 53 years old and has lived in the South in Georgia in my entire life. But it's not being scared, but it's a fear. And it's not a physical fear, it is the mental fear. It is what we see in you and what we see you doing and how it challenges us and the fear of that. So we see black women and we see how strong you are. We see you coming together as a community. We see you supporting each other. We see you supporting your community, supporting your families, supporting your children, going out and fighting for your rights, being authentic in your race and in your femininity. Anyway. And we're jealous. I think we're jealous because we would love to be that, I think, and we don't know how to break out of the indoctrination that we have been suppressed by our entire lives.
Mike TV, he's knowledgeable about his information, about the American Indians and how we change our classification over time and the different types of mounds and different rules from the French, from the British. If you want viable information, you want to really find out who in your lineage and who are the people you come from, I suggest going with Mike TV. His prices are affordable. He's not like some of these other people out here. I urge, go with Mike TV.
White women have passed, don't get me wrong. But I know I, and most women, white women have been told our entire lives, be quiet. No.
Malik says, is that a man? Hey, we don't ask questions like those, okay? It's about to be 2025. My channel is under review for monetization. Whatever that person identifies as is between them and sweet little blonde hair, blue-eyed baby Jesus, okay?
Know your place. Be a good girl. don't rock the boat, don't be too much. And when you are any of those things, you are ostracized because you have rocked their boat. And that is what Black women are. You rock our boat, our mental boat, because
Damn, she over here making Aaliyah references. She said, y'all rock the boat, work the middle, work the middle.
you challenge us to look at how we are deficient and not living in our truth, and it makes us uncomfortable. And people don't like to be uncomfortable. And
I mean, if you guys were living in your truth, you would be scallywags or whores in London. So I don't think anybody wants you to live your truth. Just try not to be such an obstacle.
And it makes us start to question ourselves, and people don't like to question themselves. We would rather live in our little bubble of white supremacy and what we know and comfortableness. I know it's not a word. Than a lot of people.
Hey Malik, I said I ain't gonna question no genders, but they low key looking like Peter Griffin with a wig.
A lot of people would, white women would, rather than challenge themselves to grow and know more, because it's easy. Doing the work is hard. It's really hard. I've been doing the work the past several years, and it's hard. It is hard admitting some truth about yourself and some truth about yourself as a white woman. So yeah, I think that white women are scared of Black women because you challenge us in that way, and a lot of us don't like it. And that's why we fear you. It's because we fear what you make us face.
Don't front. It's also physical. You know, a Black woman will beat the brakes off your ass. You know, damn well it's physical too.
I'm so excited that we're getting to real questions. This is what I wanted when I first started this TikTok cultural appreciation and cultural knowledge thing. So, because Black people birthed every other race of people.
And check this out. The question that was asked of this Black lady is a legit question. Is that why most white people seem to age faster, looks-wise? So we getting back to the white women aging poorly. Oh, Lord. Where's the TLC?
The position to make me feel so damn unpretty.
Adapt and evolve at a faster rate. So when the sun gets hotter, our body, our genetics are automatically already trying to catch up to what the fuck's happening on Earth, what the fuck is happening in the world. So because we were the first, we evolve quicker. So we just adapt to things quicker than most other races would.
Long story short, the Black woman is God. Okay.
Which is why we may age a little slower, because the elements in the earth are attacking you guys a lot quicker than it is attacking us. Because our genetics are automatically and continuing to evolve and adapt to what's happening around us.
Basically, in a very politically correct way, she is saying that it is, in her humble opinion, that Native Black Americans are genetically superior than other ethnic groups based off of our abundance of melanin, etc., etc., etc. Please don't cancel my YouTube. My channel is pending review for monetization. I would like to get money from Google again. I want my cut. I know you're playing ads on this video right now, and I want my check.
Because we were first. So the reason that most people say, oh, Black don't crack, oh, it dates back to what you guys put on your face. No, it dates back to the fact that we are the originators.
Genuinely curious if anybody else who was mixed had a similar experience with their mother growing up. Throughout my childhood, I recall my mom constantly just like shitting on Black women for no reason.
Okay, so this wasn't my mom, but I had a work mom, okay? And she would low-key say problematic things out of nowhere. She was the type where she would not sugarcoat racism, okay? She would call it out. But here and there, she had these little moments where I was like, okay, ma'am, I think you might want to rethink what you just said a little bit. Okay, so like one time, there was a couple of our female coworkers who, mind you, they were white, okay? And they were acting really petty towards me for no reason. So I went to my mom, my work mom, and I was talking about it with her, and she goes on the whole, oh, they're just jealous spiel. And then she starts saying, when I was in high school, all the Black girls hated me because I was a skinny white girl with a big ass and I took all their boyfriends. Their Black boyfriends wanted me. Like, huh? Like, what? Like, ma'am,
And she would also make a whole thing about how she only dates black men. Then when she asked me if I would ever date a white boy and I said yes, y'all should have seen the look on her face. She was baffled.
So there was a really interesting video made by White Woman Whisperer. I tried to stitch it and the audio didn't record, so I'm going to try to record it again here. Tag her below because you should go watch her video. But she basically poses the question, or opens up this discussion, this bear versus man discussion, to black women in asking, okay, if you're in an office, who would you rather walk in, a white man or a white woman? And she said that the collective answer would be a white man. And a lot of women are getting offended. A lot of white women are getting offended because they're like, oh my gosh, what a man could do to you is so much worse than a woman. Like, this is divisive. But like, you're not getting it. The reason why black women would choose a white man over a white woman is for the same reason that women as a collective, especially white women, would choose the bear over the man. It is the danger you know versus the danger you.
Are you ready for an unforgettable journey through Black history? This March, I'm inviting you to join me on an exclusive tour of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District, better known as Black Wall Street. You'll walk in the footsteps of history with living descendants of the Black Wall Street Massacre, explore the new Black Wall Street Museum that opened in 2021, and visit iconic historic sites. Plus, you'll get to dine at Black-owned Southern restaurants and experience the vibrant culture of this incredible community. Don't miss this powerful opportunity to honor our ancestors and celebrate Black excellence. Spots are limited, so email me today at mike@nativebblackancestry.com to reserve your place. Let's make history together.
All right, how y'all doing? My name's Major Wright. I just got done with my consultation with Mike. If you trying to trace your ancestry, Mike is a good first step to go through. He's going to break it down to you, all 3 steps to get you what you need. And if you want somebody to maybe do the research for you, you pay that price and Mike can help you too. But yes, he will fill you up with knowledge that you never knew and give you all the things like those unanswered questions in your head throughout time. Talk to Mike, man. He's a great dude. I believe in Mike.
Historically, the under the surface racism that white women have for black women has caused death and destruction and is absolutely a humongous danger. Because black women know, like in our society, that a white woman's accounting of things will always be taken more seriously than a black woman's. So she has to have like a distance because of personal safety. Now, I've seen this play out in my real life. I live in the South. I go to a lot of like influencer functions with like large groups of people, and I can see the difference between women of color who know me and women of color who don't, and how they interact with me and like the guard that they have up. And that's not offensive to me because it's common sense. I absolutely expect them to be apprehensive of a white woman in the South because they don't know what they're getting. But just as the whole point of the bear versus man conversation is to make men understand that women are innately apprehensive and cautious around all men, the question that White Woman Whisperer was posing is to make white women understand the cautiousness that black women have around white women. That sort of like being scared of me before I give them a reason not to is not offensive to me because it is absolutely my responsibility to prove to these women that I am a safe person, not the other way around. You cannot like bully someone into trusting you with their personal safety. And that's a lesson for the men on the bear conversation too.